Test mic, can you hear me?
When I was taken to Kenya, I was a little boy, even I know nothing. I was just taken very young.
We came without anything, and we all walk. See, very young, 5 years, she cannot walk, and I carried her.
When the war arrived, it is now very hard life to live in South Sudan.
You know, during the time of war, the prices of things increases in the market. You cannot buy things. There's no food supply from outside that may help us. There's hunger that led us to come to Uganda.
Why is this life now like this? Why am I suffering in my own country? And I found the answer which comes in my mind is the conflict.
I want people to hear my voice, and I want to give people stories. I want to give stories, my own stories and people's stories. There are some other things in my place which are not known outside. So I want to give them outside so that people will be knowing it worldwide.
My name is Rosebel Kagumire. I'm a writer and a blogger. I'm very happy to be here. So I'm sure we are going to have a great week. These are young people, really young refugee youth. I was part of the team to equip them with skills for them to realize that they have stories and they can tell their own stories. They don't have to wait for journalists to talk to them. They don't have to wait for anybody or agencies. That when they have these skills, they are able to use maybe their phone, that in this era, anybody can tell their story. One says, I want to be part of the new generation of journalists in South Sudan. So you can see that there's hope. People are hopeful, going home. Home is part of it because it's like we are here, but this is for us to gain information so that we are able to go back home and use these skills.
Don't open your ear only. Look at me, open your ear. Are you ready? Look!
My name is Bulan Shol. I'm a South Sudanese photographer based in Juba. I grew up in a refugee camp. That's the Kakuma refugee camp in the northern Kenya where I grew up. Like you are all refugee, I'm also a living example who was a refugee. And surely when I come in and give the training, I recognize one of my friends, the Spike, the one that we stayed together back then in Kakuma. In 2006, that was the last time we separated and I never saw him again. Now you know that your brother left, but when I come and met him finally, you say, oh my God, brother, I met you again. I want to inspire this new generation that are passionate about telling their own stories. And we'll tell them that it's not about having those big cameras that you can tell your stories. You can have the smartphone.
What do you feel like when you reached in Uganda?
When I was in Sudan, I was hearing a lot of shot of guns, but when I arrived here in Uganda, I was not hearing any sound. I do sleep happily.
When I reach Uganda, really, I feel very happy because even not seeing the guns like the way I see in South Sudan, I was really very happy. I feel like now I'm alive and I'm now safe in Uganda.
It's a process. Today you take a picture and you say, this is bad, it's not good for me. But actually that's the start, that's the turning point. I want those stories to be projected out because we have stories, and if we keep them to ourselves, no one will see them. But if you take your camera, your lens, that's your eye, project those stories to the other side so the other will see them, but don't keep them to yourself. And that's why I always work with my camera to be my voice. You see his hand, just wait now because you know that he will go. But yeah, I like this. This picture is good.
As I'm continuing with the training and as I'm learning more, my hope is to be like Bulan. I'm really enjoying how good to do this work is.
I work a lot with women's rights and in trying to get women in the media, for women to be seen, because often women's voices are left behind. So it was very interesting for me to work with a group of young girls and to see them share their story differently from how they would share it in class. And that's why it was important to get them out of the classroom. There are certain conversations that they would never have talked about.
Not only boys can get stories, but also girls can get stories. There are young girls who are facing some challenges in the camp, and there are young girls who are heading a family. So it is very important for us to tell the world about that.
Through the teachings that Rosebell has given for us, I just put my hope now that I'll become like her.
I really chose to be a WFP storyteller because I just wanted to pass a message. You cannot say something which is not helpful to people. If me as a storyteller said something to the world, that means that thing is getting in the memories of people.
In the beginning, when I was a little boy, many people die of food. I said they're crazy, so she need peace.
You know, sometimes writing lyrics is just the same like writing a story. War break out when I was at school. When I came here, I was settled now by WFP. Now when food got in my stomach, I was fine, I can sleep well. You'll even feel stories, will even come to your mind. When it comes to me, I start getting a pen and a book. I put it down, I start writing about my story.
I got a lot of story with her. Well done.
When you are a refugee, they cannot block you from dreaming.
I want to be a photographer because I really like photos, you know.
I dream about to become a journalist, maybe to become a leader in South Sudan.
My dream is to be a great journalist, by the way, so that I will pass message, information, I take great stories.
Hi, I'm Malis James and my colleague is Lilia Sopani. So we are the storytellers of Bidi Bidi.
It's a day of our graduation of WFP Storyteller. So hello everybody, you're also welcome.
When I joined the project, I really know how to chat in Facebook, and I really found my friends in South Sudan. I was talking to them, they were even surprised. Now I'm big enough, I know how to chat.
I get knowledge of something of posting, Facebook, Instagram. I was not knowing those things.
I have to tell you, this is hip-hop rapper Spike G from WFP Storyteller. So
all my mothers keep on struggling, never give up. Wow. The guys are really rapper, we can see us.